Dr. Pegel, welcome on the Uma Show.
Thank you very much, Uma, for hosting us here. Thank you.
Well, my first question is about diabetes. It's become a huge lifestyle disease, and especially in the region I come from, it is very prevalent. When a person with diabetes walks into Viva Mayer, what is the process that you follow?
Most important thing is that we really honor what was already done and treat it with the client, because he must feel safe with us. So we do a proper examination in allopathic medicine, but also in holistic medicine. And after that, we adjust the therapy to his possibilities or her possibilities and needs. We start with a medication or supplementation, or we reduce the medication he or she is bringing, or we also increase it sometimes. But what is most important, we try to start new habits.
Right.
Sport is something that is very effective in treating diabetes. Eating can be very supportive, but can also turn into the terror for your metabolism if you suffer from it too much, or if you live from it too much and not from a right amount of it.
What are the success rate that you have seen with diabetes?
Normally we can stop all the allopathic medication that our client is taking at the second day of his stay here.
Really? Okay.
And if we only have a little bit more time with the client, so a minimum of 3 weeks, we normally can cure type 2 diabetes completely, and we can optimize the therapy of type 1 diabetes so that this client will be able to exercise and sport almost normal, and has then a guideline and a motivation for him or herself to continue and to progress this program.
Last but not the least, why should people come to Viva Mayer if they have, started on the journey of having diabetes and they want to manage it?
If you want to heal diabetes, you have to accept that it's your problem. No recommendation that was working for your neighbor, for example, necessarily works for you. And with this experience, clients or us people normally get lost, and you feel then confused. So if you want to know what is my situation, what is helping me, what is causing problems and disturbance in my body, then please come to us. We will train you carefully, with patience, and with understanding for your situation. It is not the attempt to start a perfect life, because this is an utopia, but to live a life that is enjoyable and that is also leading you to strength and beauty. This is where we are good with.
And full of joy.
And of course, joy.
So I come to a very important topic now that more and more people are recognizing and accepting is the mental health. A lot of people are suffering from depression. So my first question is, what are the causes of depression and how do we know that we're going through it?
It's a big question and not easy to answer, because the reasons can be very different and very individual again. But I think if you experience yourself to be and to react and to experience different than you did the last 2 or 3 years, then you should normally start with a few diagnostic steps to rule out that you are don't suffering from a depression.
So any changes, if they're going through any drastic changes, it could be depression or something to do with it.
Then at least it is necessary to rule out that the depression is not caused by an hormonal imbalance, for example, by an acute depression of your thyroid, or an adrenal fatigue, or because of an ongoing infection taking place inside of your body. Inflammation is has a very strong effect on developing a depression or not. Some say depression is an inflammatory disease. And inflammation is connected very closely to the health and strength of your intestine.
That's very interesting. So when people with depression or any kind of mental health walk into Viva Mayer, what are the steps you follow?
First again, we do a proper examination. We talk with the client and try to figure out when did everything start? Was there an infection at that time taking place, or change in lifestyle, or also a change in the situation. Was there a relationship this was brought up, or a time of huge exhaustion? Based on that, we will recommend then different laboratory testings, for example, and then a proper examination of the body. If I feel and see that the intestine is struggling with inflammation, or the client suffering from a leaky gut, we will start immediately a cleansing and calming therapy. The intestine is so important for the depression or the state of mind, and also the stress resistancy, because it is an endocrinological organ. 97% of your serotonin the body is producing is produced inside of the intestine by intestinal cells. If you suffer from constipation and you feel depressed and not yourself, this is not a surprise to us. So we always start cleaning and calming the intestine first. This will lead to an increase of serotonin, and depending on the other reasons for the depression, we then will increase the well-being of the client.
What are the tips you would like to give people in general after going back from Viva Mayer, or people who cannot afford to come here, to follow to be in a good place?
I think the most underestimated part is routine is something, and rhythm is something that is a huge source, or can be a huge source, for strength and energy. If you live a rhythmed lifestyle and a rhythmed daily routine, with awakening at the same time, going to bed at the same time, with enough time in between, so that you don't experience sleeping as a waste of time, but really 8 hours of recovering and regenerative and regenerating activity. This is what is very important, that you have time for 2 or 3 meals a day, no snacks in between. Allow your system to rest after being attracted by a meal. Exercise a little bit and enjoy the way of how well your body is working. This is giving confidence, and on the other side, burning calories, making you not only feel better but also look better. And that you be careful with yourself. Not every day is a power day. Sometimes we are tired. Accept this, and react a little bit on that, and you will have more energy for us.
Beautiful. A very important topic is fertility, especially in modern day and age. A lot of couples are going through this issue, and it's becoming bigger and bigger. What are the treatments that you follow in Viva Mayer?
Stress is leading to a higher inflammatory rate inside of the body. The uterus, the mucosa inside of the uterus, and also the quality and the dynamic of the sperms are turned down by stress. So we treat the body anti-inflammatory and with reduced stress, and this allows the system to regenerate and recover. Very often hormonal imbalances, like an estrogen dominancy caused by an intestinal overgrowth, and candida overgrowth of the intestine, is leading to a state where it's becoming impossible to become fertile and pregnant. Many women then try to add hormones from outside, to adjust this problem or this state, but they didn't treat the root of the problem. Therefore, we do a proper cleansing again of tissue, of intestinal surface, also if necessary of the other inner organs. We try to rule out that other forms of inflammation are disturbing the problems, and of course if the body is experiencing a huge deficiency, for example in zinc, it will avoid every form of pregnancy, because this is a potential risk then for the person herself. So the body is clever, and if it is not accepting or allowing to become pregnant right now, there is in most cases a reason for that. It is not a destiny. In most cases it's self-made.
So at Viva Mayer, you really get into the root cause of what is making it
Of course, yes.
a problem.
Yeah, we try also to. It is unlikely that you leave Viva Mayer after 1 week and you immediately become pregnant.
Right.
But we can see the confidence that you can increase the chance to become pregnant for both, for the man and for the woman. It is in the end a miracle that happens, and the mystery. You also need a little bit of faith and trust in Goddess to be then sure to perform as future parents as optimum as possible.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I think all the topics that you touched upon are very important, and all my viewers would relate to them. And I like the whole process that you followed, Viva Mayer, of treating everything in a very holistic manner and getting into the depth of it to cure it.
Thank you very much for us to be here today, to present ourselves, and also for your interesting questions.
Thank you so much.